Hi crafters and welcome. So for the technique of the week this week is masking. So there's two different ways you can actually do masking. I put my grid paper back down only because I've been having a lot of focus issues when I go up and down. So I'm thinking that with showing less glass mat, that this will hopefully work out okay. So I do have a little bit of glass mat still showing down here. That way, if I'm going to do blending or stuff like that, I can still use this for where my ink is. Okay, let's talk about masking. Now you can use regular Post-it notes for masking, or you can use Stampin' Up's masking paper. The difference is this is very strong, so you need to be careful with it. If it's a brand new sheet, I usually kind of put it against the back of my hand or something so it's not as strong. Post-it notes most everyone has, and so that's readily available. So let's go ahead and let's show you the most basic of stamping or masking techniques. I'm going to be using these two. Another thing is people will ask, well, we're going to be cutting these out to make the mask. Why don't you just use the coordinating die? The coordinating die. And the reason for that is Stampin' Up, when they do their dies, they leave a little bit of white area around the die area. So if we stamp this and cut it out with the die, there's going to be a little bit of a white frame around it. With the masking, usually you want to go ahead and have it pretty close to the shape. So you're going to end up cutting it by hand anyway, so you might as well do it by hand all the first time. Okay, so let's start with the most basic. Now with masking, you do want to make sure that whatever you want in the front, you stamp first. Okay, so let me just grab a piece of paper here. So we're going to put this ladybug on the leaf. So the first thing I would stamp is the ladybug. All right, let me grab my little blocks over here. Oh, all my black pads and spots are over here because I'm in the middle of a 3-day class, an outside stamping class that I paid for. So let me go grab my black and some of my spots. Sorry, I'm at my work desk. So let me just grab all those really quick. I didn't think about that. Sorry. So I have all my spots here in these containers I got off of Amazon that stack, but they also hold them well. So let me put those back over here for a second. And here's the black. Now remember, the Memento is going away in the new catalog because we're introducing the hybrid, and I do have that, but I haven't played with any of my new product yet. And you can't order them till May anyway, so I'm not going to really be showing them until we can get closer to that release date for customers. All right, so there is that ladybug. If we wanted to mask, we would take, let me grab, for the sake of most of these, I'm going to just be using my Post-it notes. So you want to put the image on there, stamp it on there. You want to make sure that it's partly on that sticky part. Get out my snips. And what I do is I cut right inside of that stamp line. Because even though, oh, I have something on there. Even though this is very thin paper, you're going to have a little bit of a ghosting or halo effect. So I find if you cut right inside the line, it helps with that ghosting problem. No, I'm not going to go inside of there. I could, but I'm not going to. So now I'm going to put this over my stamped area. This, so we can move it just a little bit better. So you're going to see, you can see that blacked outline that we stamped, which is okay. Perfectly fine. All right, let me grab out a green for my leaf. Let's do shaded spruce. How about that? So now I'm going to grab my leaf. Oh, sorry. I know that does a little bit of a shine. All right, so here's my leaf. I'm going to stamp right over that. Make sure I press down a little bit right where the mask is, just because you do have that ghosting effect, like I said. Oh, look, it brought it up. But there you have it. So now it looks like the ladybug is sitting on the leaf. Okay. Let's stick with that same mask so you don't sit here and watch me cut it out. Let's say you want to do a row of ladybugs, but you want them to be kind of behind one another. So I'm going to do the red. Let me grab my... So make sure that's dry now. All right, so let's grab red. Now, if you wanted to do it as like a second generation, you would go ahead and go right now. But I'm going to do this like, I think I'm going to put a yellow and an orange on either side. So I know orange ladybugs exist. I think those are called, are they Asian beetles? I don't think so. That doesn't sound right. No disrespect out there, but I can't think what they're called. But there is a certain type of ladybug that I've had that is orangish. And then I'm going to do a yellow one. Now, I don't know if yellow actually exists out there in ladybug land. But I'm going to just go ahead and do, for the sake of stamping, I'm going to do one. All right, so now let's go ahead and bring up that. And now you can see you have that behind. Those two are behind. One of the first cards I ever made using this technique was that I had a tree. So I had a tree, and then I had a deer. And I wanted the deer poking from behind the tree, so I stamped the tree branch first, and then the deer behind it. So it looked like the deer was behind the tree. That one, though, I had to be careful because the tree was thinner than the deer was. So I didn't want to ink the whole, because I wanted him to look like he was coming out this way. So I didn't want to ink the whole deer because, you know, it would look like the tree was cutting through the deer. All right. So here is masking when something's on top of something. Let me get, camera's still not catching up. I wonder if it's this light. See, something's changed. Something's changed with my lighting situation. I never used to have these problems. I've been in the same space for quite a while. And it's just recently. So I don't know if it's my little ring light that I have on. All right. So there's that. Let me jump over to the computer really quick just to make sure that it still looks light enough without that light on. And it does. All right. So the last thing I want to show you is let's grab, I'm going to grab a bigger piece of Post-it note, and I'm running over here to the side to grab a punch. I'm going to cut out 2 different circles. Oh, I should. When you cut out, I need to put it through with a piece of cardstock. Let's see. Let me grab just a little sheet here just to give it some body. It doesn't have to cover the whole thing, but it just has to have some body to it. There we go. So now we have my cardstock, all right? So you can use this piece if you wanted to, and let me grab a brush here. So you could use that masking piece. Ooh, I got that really dark, didn't I? To mask off a shape, and I moved it, see, so otherwise, but you do that so you could mask off the circle like that, or you can use your mask to actually make a little bit of a highlight. Where you want, let's say you want a circle to stamp something inside of. So let's say here we have that. Where's that leaf I have? So that's called spotlight technique, where you have something either missing, omitted, or in the background to kind of like spotlight a certain area on your card. There's also a lot more to the spotlight technique. It will be one of my upcoming videos. All right, so now that we have this, and we've already masked off that circle, now we can put that mask back on as such. And we can mask this way. Again, pushing kind of hard where that mask is. So that way it looks like, this works for like a window technique. So then it looks like, come on. So then it looks like you have something coming in to that area. All right, so there you have it. There's your technique of the week, masking. If you don't mind, give me that thumbs up, share on your social media, tell your friends about my channel, and have them subscribe if they would want to. I am inching closer to that 500 mark, so you're helping me get there, and I really appreciate that. So thanks, guys, for watching. Have a great Sunday. Bye for now.